What's going on, y'all? So listen. Oh my God. Okay. Y'all, we are back again for another episode review of The Shy. This is season 7, episode 6. Do the Shy thing. If you saw Do the Right Thing, the movie is very much taken off of that. Do the Shy thing, do the right thing. But why would y'all do that? That girl, I said I don't understand the purpose of Lene Burke. What is his name on here? Oh my God. Let me look it up. Vic Mensa's The Shy. He only 32 years old? What? Jamal, right? Mm-hmm. Wait, what? Yeah, he played Jamal. Anyway, why would they do that? See, this is what happens when I say I don't understand why certain characters are up here, and then all of a sudden, when something happens, all of a sudden it's just like boom, and I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, I ain't mean for you to do it like that. I ain't mean for you to do it like that. Like, wow, that's really messed up. Oh, I got my steps in. Y'all, I've been doing so good getting my steps in, okay? Like, let me tell you something. I've been sick for last week, whatever, and a week and a half ago and stuff. Girl, I just felt real out of my body because I couldn't do my exercise the way I want to, and now I'm getting back on track. I feel so good. But, girl, freak all that. The Shy, okay? Now, this episode... I don't know, y'all. Is this what y'all finna do for real? Like, y'all finna just give us a little slow stuff a little bit and ease us into it with, girl, what? So we get up into the episode. Basically, a rolling power outage, okay? On one of the hottest days of the summer. Now, I can't remember what day that was last year, but we did have a couple of hot days. Mind you, this is so coincidental that everything is talking about a heat stuff this week on TV and everything. Because when I woke up today, I had an email notification saying that we were under extreme heat advisory. All right. I get to work and my commissioner from my job is sending us, telling us for the next couple of days or so, this weekend, all the way probably to Monday or whatever, we are supposed to be having an extreme heat advisory. Mind you, it was a little bit warm today. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's supposed to be 90 plus degrees outside. Okay, girl. And I was like, God, and I gotta go to work tomorrow. So like, girl, what? And then imagine it being, and I feel sorry for the people that be down south, because y'all probably already know how this is, especially y'all be in Texas and all that stuff. When the power go out and y'all be getting like 100 plus degrees weather, girl, I would just melt away. I would be like, you know what? I ain't doing it. Okay? Because one thing about me, I hate to sweat. You know, I really do. But at the same time, this whole situation is what brings community together. Let me tell you something. They got the good parts of The Shy when the whole let me put that down because I don't want to get that. When the whole block, when the power go out in the summertime or whatever, the good part sometimes is that's when the community come together. You saw the kids playing outside. You saw Jamal open up the fire hydrant for the kids. Let me tell you something. There is nothing like a good hot summer day and the fire hydrant being on. If you never experienced that, what was your childhood? Okay, I don't give a damn where you from. And what's your status? What was your childhood? Oh, I had a pool. We had a pool too. But baby, it's a different feeling playing in a fire hydrant, okay? Like, it was just something different, you know what I'm saying? And so it just took me back to my childhood. I was like, oh my God, yes, we used to do that all the time. Chicago, Southside. But at the same time, I was like, you know, at least we got a little grit and grind. And that was at the very end, because on the hot days, when it gets hot out here in Chicago, I tell y'all this all the time, especially when it gets extremely hot, that's when everybody want to wake up and everybody want to start some shit. All right? And everybody want to be taking everybody out. Okay? And the toll of the passings aways and the injuries go up. you know? And so I was like, okay, just give us this cookie cutter stuff. I'm here for it. Because I don't want to be, our city get a whole bunch of negative stuff anyway, so I don't want all that, right? I don't want all that. Girl, the episode was cute though until that ended. Now let me tell you something, Detective Toussaint, you made me remember that you got on my nerves when you was on the show previously, and now you came back and now you about to get on my nerves again, because once again these cops come through and they get the story freaking wrong. Okay, girl, so everybody is going through it, everybody is going through it. You got Keisha and Emmett over there trying to plan a birthday party, or I think they're going to have a little birthday party or something like that, or they going to a birthday party. Emmett putting together a gift, whatever, because they wind up going to this other kid's birthday party, I believe, or whatever, and he got all his kids in the house. Next thing you know, Keisha is pregnant. I feel sorry for the pregnant women that be out there during the summertime. I know y'all just be over it, okay? But the power go out. Keisha already just annoyed. Understandable. Hormonal, all of that stuff, right? And then all them kids, and only one of them is hers. Okay. And so you got that going on, right? Then you got Darnell. Where was Jada at? Emmett mama. Because we ain't see her this whole episode. We ain't see Tracy this episode, which was fine with me. We ain't see Darnell woke up in the bed by himself, and Darnell went to bed by himself. And Darnell still got that fan up in the window. Baby, back in the day, I remember those. Oh my God. My, have we come a long way. Girl, you ain't live until you had that fan up in that window, or you had that screen. You had to go to the store and buy one of those screens that you could pull out like this, close into the window so no flies and stuff get in there. Yeah, we had all of that. But listen, imagine having to still work in a hot ass environment. They at Smokies. They ain't got no air, but all the food and stuff is fine, but the stuff is slow. Everybody just ordering out and everything. Oh, girl, I would have called off. I would have said, you know what? Not today. Shut this shit down, okay? But you got all that going on, right? And then you got Alicia and Tiffany. We already knew that this wasn't going to be a good idea. We knew it wasn't going to be a good idea, that them being in the house together like this. And we already knew that Alicia had Tiffany over there because of her grandchild and because she's still grieving her son. And she has not moved past it. And honestly, I don't feel like she's truly grieving, okay? Because she's so pissed on revenge and everything of that matter. And even when she finally gets the real, killer of her son, she still ain't going to be happy. And she's still going to be on a rampage, okay? It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, right? So last week, when Keisha and Tiffany was sitting out there by the pool talking about how, she kicking it with Victor and her got a little bit of chemistry, and she could probably see something happen like that, but she don't know if he really like women's, biological women's. She thought that he just only like trans women's or something like that. But then started talking about Nook. Now the whole time I'm thinking that Alicia had overheard the conversation and heard that Tiffany said, I'm not looking to get with nobody right now, okay? I'm still in the process of grieving. That ain't what's on my mind, all right? No, she heard the part about, because Nuck, we got a little chemistry. It's like some tension or something, maybe sexual, I don't know. That's when she walked away. That's what they showed us on that preview. I did not realize that she walked away at that part until Alicia sat her ass down on that couch and literally told Tiffany, so what the fuck you doing getting wet for Nuck? I said, wait a minute, bitch. I said, excuse me. It gags me every time I hear older people talk nasty like that, especially the ones that you think are so classy. I don't give a good goddamn. Lynn Whitfield, she played Brandy in Love and A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Okay? I don't give a damn. Even she's classy to me. So to hear her say some of the things that she has been saying, and actually seeing her in person, she's just give off that classy elegance. You know what I'm saying? And to hear her say her whole character being a killer on here, and then to say, why the fuck you over here getting wet for Nuck? You ain't finna be fucking no other nigga while you pregnant with my grandbaby. I said, wait a minute. She said, you don't like being here? You like staying here? I said, no, girl. And at this point, Tiffany, when she said all of that, what you should have been doing is you should have been calculating and being like, how do I get the hell up out of here? Okay? You honestly should have went upstairs and started packing. I know it was hot. It was hot outside, but you still should start packing because this ain't gonna work. But then again, she the type of person, Alicia gives me, she ain't gonna let Tiffany leave that place because she want that grandbaby. She want to see that grandbaby 24/7, 365. It's giving one of those type of situations, okay? It's giving one of those. She'll probably try to take the baby. She'll probably try to take the baby by force or legally go to the courts and try to get rights over the baby. That's what the grandparents' law or some shit like that. That's what Alicia is giving right about now. Mama ain't all the way there, okay? This is what grief does to you, you know? Especially when you ain't using it right or you ain't handling it right. Girl, you got that going on. Then you got Shad. Shad is just... I get it on the one hand, but on the other hand, I just feel like maybe he should be a little bit more understanding because she's never dealt with this heavy of a loss. And so, yeah, but you knew who she was when you got with her, that she was this type of person. But he's also insecure. He's also jealous. And she clocked it too. So you got, you know, Victor and him out there talking, and then they go outside. Darnell, they sitting out there giving very much one of the scenes of Do the Right Thing, the movie, when a man and them was outside or whatever. They just people seeing, okay? It's something about just going outside. Some of y'all need to go outside and touch grass too, okay? And it's open up your nostrils, okay? It opens up your nostrils. That's a different type of air. Get that outside air, you know? And so they just chatting it up. And I love the scene with that. You know what I'm saying? Just talking. It felt real. It felt real, like you see the niggas on the corners all the time just talking dumb shit, all right? Laughing and everything. And they get to the point where Rashad talking about somehow he about to leave. No, he said, I'm going to give Alicia her walking papers. And when Darnell said, you the most intelligent, single, keeping a woman type of nigga I know, like, you can't keep a woman to save your goddamn life. And then just went down his dating history about how he had this one girl, cheated on her with Vic's fake girlfriend, who was Gemma's daddy's girlfriend, and then got with Alicia, okay? And now you finna leave that. And then they talking about because he focused on the fact that all she is focused on is the grandbaby. He said it's a little bit too cramped up in there, and all this other stuff. And she just won't do, you know, she bossy. She won't do what he said and all this stuff. It was like, how the fuck you gonna tell her what to do up in her home? Okay? Because you forget, you are staying in her home. Okay? So, of course, yes, she's gonna be the dominant one in this situation. You should already know that. Right? And so I didn't think he was serious about that, but he really did give her walking papers. And she said, you know what? She ain't blink no eye. She ain't water no eye or nothing. She said, you know, you already knew you was temporary. And it is what it is, okay? We come from two different worlds. And that's just all that it is to it, okay? Our time was cute, you know, and I cherish it, but hey, we got to move on. He won't have the nerves to say, so this about what you doing with Bakar? You moving on with Bakar? I said, oh my God, that is a child. Now, Alicia, I know Alicia do some things, but I hope she'll never do no things like that. That is a little child, okay, compared to her, you know? And she was like, child, please. But anyway, he said, I'm going to still have my job. She said, of course. And it was like, I'm going to need you to protect me. He said, I'll always be here to protect you. And she said, that's cool, because it's a war about to be brewing. I said, what? You know, I hear stuff like that. That'll make me step aside. Like, you know, on second thought, never mind. Okay, so you got that going on, right? Victor do talk about the fact that he got a little thing for Tiffany. You know, he kind of implied that Tiffany wanted some little junk food. She texted him. He went and got some little White Castle. Let me tell you something. When you're drunk and when you you just want something quick, get you some White Castle. Okay, it'll make you shit. I'ma just put it real. All right, it'll make you shit. It ain't the best. but it do what it need to do. Okay, like some of y'all go to Taco Bell, and some of us go to White Castle sometimes. Baby, I had White Castle for the first time a few weeks ago, and I said this is why I don't eat fast food like that no more, because my stomach can't help it, handle it like that. It just, wow. I said, oh wow, okay, never again. At least not for a while. I don't want to get up here and lie to y'all, okay? But, you got that going on. That was real cute. They flirting and all that stuff. And I said, oh, I hope Alicia don't pop up. Thank goodness that she didn't. Meanwhile, this whole situation with Emmy and Keisha, baby, why is little EJ at the birthday party fighting? EJ fighting some other kid. Then the other boy, he up there, they playing barbershop. He showed up and, just... Do all the kids go through that phase where they find the clippers or the barbers or whatever and scissors and just start cutting their hair off? Baby, I'm so glad his hair and it can grow back. I swear to God, if I had kids, girl, that'd be my 13th reason why I just leave the house and never come back. You did what? Or them videos where them kids just be messing up the house and be having paint everywhere, put powder everywhere. And girl, I'd be like, you know what? I'm clocking out. I'm clocking the freak out. Come get your child. Come get your child. I don't know when I want to see him, but come get your child because I can't. That's just what it was, okay? And of course, Keisha, she was going through some things. But yeah, out there with Damian. Damian has a gambling problem, okay? And Darnell was talking to him. Well, Darnell was talking to Emmett, trying to see how he was going, everything was going on or whatever before they went outside because he was trying to check the fridge and everything and trying to see where Damian's at. It was like, oh, he down there at Smokies and, he working and all that stuff. And it was like, yeah, I need you to keep an eye on him because... when Emmett called down there to see if everything was okay, he was on the phone looking at a sports game. He was betting. All right. So he has a bad gambling problem to the point that he needed to go to rehab, and he recently just got out of rehab. And Emmett was like, what's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with, gambling or betting on stuff. And Darnell was like, I used to think that at first too until, I found out that my daddy had basically lost the house in the poker game. And my mama, she basically covered up for him, made it seem like he didn't, but he did because, she basically said that she sold the house, but come to find out the daddy lost the house. It's given very much how Big Mama was on Soul Food. When he had the daddy had the gambling addiction that she told him about. Yeah, that she almost had to lost the house because of his ass. Yeah, that type of situation. And I said, well, damn, that's so messed up. And then when he called back, when Emmett goes back down there to Smokies, baby, why would he ask him, can he borrow some cash? And then you want to know how much he asked him for? I'm thinking maybe $100, maybe $500 at the most. That nigga said $3,000 because he owes a debt. All right. Now we thinking that he gonna go ahead and pay a debt, but you know how it is when you gamble and you're addicted. Okay, you got that in your hand when you're supposed to put that towards your debt so that you can either eliminate it or reduce it. Where did he go? He goes to a spades tournament. Yes, go to a spades tournament with Brenda's cousin, the pothead dealer, and their partners, and they making a little bank. And even dude said, why you got that money? Emmy gave you that money so that you can put that on that other debt that you got. What you doing with it here? And don't worry about it. I'm gonna get the money back and all this stuff. Woo, woo, woo. Come to find out, he do double the money, but because how men are. Okay. You know how people are, and they get their egos, and he was going against his other dude, and dude just wasn't feeling the fact that he was about to lose to, I guess, a nerd. And when Brandon cousin called that man, well, hold up, Terry Crews. That shit took me the fuck out. And because of that, and it was because Damian said, well, you can't win because, it's all about the numbers and counting and all this stuff, and you ain't got it. And so that bruised his ego, which made him want to bet him stuff. And then Damian was like, well, I bet you, he said, I'll bet you everything you got. I'll match whatever it is you got. And so Damian put up $6,000. Brandon cousin was like, that is not your $6,000. That is our $6,000. And so old boy said, I always keep a bankroll, so I'm going to match you. I see your $6,000. I'm going to raise you $6,000 too. And so basically they lost. He lost the money for them. And I said, see, Damian, this is why you should have stopped. And this is why you never should have came. Okay? Because that's what happens when you gamble, baby. You think you got a streak going and you just don't know when to stop. You're like, okay, I won all this. Maybe if I hit it again, I could. No, stop. I learned that when I was gambling on the boat. Y'all, I want to go back to a casino so bad. Because it was so fun. I see how you get addicted, bitch. Girl, all you got to do is show me some flashy colors and I'm in there. That's literally what got me. When I came around the corner and I seen all that shit, I said, whoa. I was like a kid in a candy shop, bitch. Let me come up in here. Oh my God, look at the colors. That was me. But I won. Okay, I ain't lose all my shit. I'm a good luck charm, okay? Take me. But, yeah, he lost the money. So now he owes $3,000 on a previous debt, plus the money that he lost here, which is another debt. Like, girl, it's just a mess. Now he's back in the hole, okay? So you got all that going on. Then you got a cookout happening over there with the pastor, Ezekiel, and Charles, and Papa, and all that stuff. And we see that Papa don't really too much feature and see it for Mr. Charles, okay? They talking about all the women that's there, and then Papa, you heard the shade that he threw at Charles about him laying hands on the women's, okay? And Charles said, where you hear that from? I said, everybody and their mama and all the women that be on their knees heard it from. That's who be talking, okay? Shout out to Melody, from last week. Yeah, she told everybody on the boat that they be getting on the knees for you, okay? So, hey, it is what it is. But then he also suggested making like a little dating service, a little dating situation happening. And it was like, dating in the name of the Lord. Don't put the Lord's name up in this, because this is not what you're using it for. But like Papa said, I don't even fuck with him, but that is a good idea. Maybe they don't want God, but they do want love and companionship. So let's think about it. Have a little singles mixer or something like that, a little dating mixer or something. And Pastor Ezekiel, he was like, well, I'll think about it. Now, while they doing all of that, was they doing the electric slide to a gospel song, or was that just a gospel song playing in the background of the actual episode? Somebody let me know, because I was like, what? What is happening? And then that white girl popped up. It was very much sinners, okay? It was very much sinners. When they was like, who the hell is you? You ain't supposed to be in these parts. What's going on? They had to take her ass out, and it was like, bitch, you're white. You can't be here. And I love Charles for saying this. No shade. Ain't nobody. We just trying to listen. Sometimes it's okay. But when you got certain things and your peoples, that'll turn the people away. Like, we about black love. Why? So you mean to tell me you went to the other side with this white lady, this lily white lady? What's going on? She ain't even biracial. She just white. Like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? And Charles is like, you can't be here. She was like, what? It's a cookout. He was like, yeah, it's a cookout for black people. You're not invited to the cookout, bitch. He said, we can't be inviting every goddamn body to the goddamn cookout. What the hell is going on? And so she felt offended and gonna walk off. I said, girl, well, they've been telling you that. And then we see her and Pastor Ezekiel at the church in the pews, and she was like, baby, basically, she don't want to be a little secret anymore. Okay? And I said, you need to go listen to Escape, my little secret. All right? Because did anybody see ya coming to my house last night when I got your page on my people? That you want to do everything I like. All right. Let me tell you something, Miss Mary Mack, all dressed in black with silver buttons down her back. Girl, stop being thirsty. If you start off as a secret, you're going to end as a secret, okay? We are not in the same world, all right? Understand that. And stop doing all that kissing and shit all and fucking up in the church like that. Desecrating the house of God. All right? I don't even go to church. I just know that's just kind of disrespectful to be doing all of that shit up in the house of God. You know? I just feel that way. Meanwhile, we got this situation with Reg and goddamn Jacob. Reg gotta die. I'm sorry. Y'all brought that man back just so we can tell him, listen, you brought him back from the dead and you should have just kept him there. And I know you brought him back so that we can have a little excitement, a little whoo going on. But Lord have mercy, Jesus. You got him and Nuck about to go at each other. Mind you, when we first saw Nuck, he was getting ready for a funeral. And I thought the pastor in him was talking in code. It was like, you getting ready for the funeral? I said, what y'all finna do? What y'all finna do? Oh, it was an actual funeral for the guy that Nuck shot in last week's episode. That was being too flashy. I said, bitch, what? And you got the nerve to show up after you took his life? Child, okay. You know, you got that happening, right? Meanwhile, Reg gotta die. Okay, like put him in the ground. For real. No. I'm dead serious. You know how they did Michael Myers on the last Halloween Ends, and they put him in the wood chip or whatever the fuck that was. Do something like that to him, because he got to be guaranteed never to come back, because he just came back and he not just wreaking havoc on anybody. He's wreaking havoc on Jake's life, and I just don't understand it. Okay, like he is just the bottom of the barrel, crab in the barrel type of nigga that just want to keep everybody fucking down in the same spot because you got a chip on your shoulder. You want everybody else to be in there. Why you don't want your brother to elevate? Why you don't want your brother to be better than you? Okay, like be the change that you want to see. He don't understand that. When Whitney Houston said the children are our future, I guess he did. She didn't mean him, bitch. Okay, I was just really confused. I said, why would you come back and you still doing this shit? They up in the house. He talking to some girl. First of all, you should have been the big brother and said, why are you talking to this older lady that's damn near the same age as me? And he like him older, but still, that's just wrong. All right. He said, go ahead and tell her to come over here. The girl comes over and she all up on Jake or whatever, but Reg sitting on the couch next to him too. That's weird. Okay, and I already knew what was going to happen. I either thought Reg was going to try to take advantage of that girl, or he was going to take her from Jake. And that's exactly what he did. Why you over there fucking with him? I taught him everything I know, or he know. He the student, get with the teacher. That type of shit. And her bird ass went on ahead, started kissing all over him and all that shit, and then allowed this man to go back in the back and fuck her. Like, are you serious? First of all, have some goddamn respect and dignity about yourself, all right? Don't be that damn easy, you know? And Jake was just over it. Jake was over it, and he stood up. He stood up for himself and he punched that nigga. Okay, he was like, I wish you was dead. I wish you stayed dead. Don't you ever say no shit like that to me. I said, wait a minute, y'all finna box. Jake, you gotta hit the gym a little bit if you gonna come at that nigga. I'm sorry, Jake. You still, only thing you got is height. Okay, you still like a little boy. You just got height. Okay, I'm gonna need you to hit the gym. Excuse me, y'all remember that video where Offset was struggling to do them 80 bar reps? He was like this. I was like, oh my god, I can do that. I lift way more than that. Okay. I was like, Offset, stop. Jake, you need to do the same thing. Okay, we probably started you off at 35. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to get you prepared, because you got to take this nigga out. You got to come in while he sleep and smother him. Put all your strength on him. Because I ain't like the way he did that shit. That was so fucking disrespectful. And then he chasing him to the point where he go into his own room and you bamming on the door, and thank goodness that Vic showed up just in time, because while they was outside chilling out on the curb, Detective Tucson come rolling past, and then she want to talk to Victor and basically was like, what Reg at? Because I know he out here stealing money from the ATM. This is picture right here, right? And he was like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Okay, now Vic is a good brother, because even with all the bullshit, he ain't rat his brother out. I mean, maybe that's the street code or whatever, but I don't know. Listen, a bitch like me probably would have been like, He been causing shit ever since he came back. Maybe I need to tell her what's up. But no, he went over there to the apartment and got Jake. Jake said, you know what? Fuck it. You can have this apartment. I'm staying over here with it. It was like, no, you ain't going nowhere. What about what mommy said? Fuck what mama said. What? And you gotta look, and he literally, you could tell that he was hurt. He felt some type of way, but he wasn't gonna really serve. But you could tell. Because that's why he brought up the whole thing about the mama. Because mama said he wanted the boys to be together. Okay? Them be a family. And it's like, we can't do that when you out here doing stupid shit and you keep on exerting your power over this boy and you're not letting him be a man. You're not even letting him grow into manhood because you want to control him. You want him to be like you. That's so ignorant. Okay, so you got that going on, and then when Vic and Jake get to Vic's house, and he asking him what's up with Reg and why do he act like that? He was like, I don't know. He was that type of person like that when they was a kid. He felt he needed to be tough, I guess, so that the people won't come at him, and it was like a defense mechanism, and he just never grew out of it. And then the fact that Vic, he really wasn't around to, really just be there for them and help them out and all that stuff. And, that's just really what it was. And I feel like even if Vic was there giving them examples and all that stuff of what to and what not to do, Reg still would have chose the streets. I mean, the way that he's doing it now. He still would have did the same thing. Because Vic chose the street too, but Vic was different in the streets. He was tricked, but when he was around his people, he was respectful. He never put Jake in any type of situation that he didn't need to be into. You know what I'm saying? So there is a difference. But you got that going on. And then Detective Toussaint, she at the precinct, right? The other detective come over there and said, yeah, we got the DNA, some vomit that happened, and it came back to Bacardi. I said, oh my God, what? Was this over there when, at first I was thinking this has to be when Nuck, shot old boy and he threw up. Did he throw up after he shot him in last week's episode? I don't know. But when Detective Toussaint came up and rolled up on Bacardi because they was trying to see if he had something to do with it. But she was like, nah, I don't think he had anything to do with it, but I think he knows some shit. Okay, so she rolled up on him and was like, yeah, we know that you ain't do it, but your vomit was caught and DNA was over this place or whatever, where this body was found at and all that stuff. And it was like, I need you to give me Reg. And if you don't do that, I'll talk to Lene. Because I know she was in the car with you when you had that stolen vehicle and all that stuff, whatever. He was like, well, leave her out of it. I said, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is happening? Okay, now where did you vomit at? And what body is this? All right. And so at this point, we see Bacardi go over there talking to Alicia and told Alicia, yo, this detective came up to me talking about Reg. Who is Reg? That's Vic, the brother. Jake? No, that's his other brother. But I think he the one that's the responsible for killing Rob. Now, Bacardi, I think Bacardi do know that it was Nuck that killed Rob, right? He knows that. So in this instant, I feel like he told, let's say he do know that, because I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure Nuck told him. Yeah, he did, right? Either way, he told Alicia that so that they can get Reg out the picture. Because remember when Reg popped up and was trying to get Nuck out the picture at Nuck's place where Bacardi was at. And because of Reg, Bacardi he don't want Jake having any association with Bacardi. So if Nuck is on the program, on his list, Bacardi damn sure is on his list too to take out. Okay? So there's that. And I was like, oh my God, why would you tell Alicia that? And then gonna say, I think he the one that really killed Rob. I said, what the fuck? I said, oh shit, Alicia, what you doing? Alicia is a lone woman in the streets finna take out these niggas. Okay? Meanwhile, back at Smokey's, you got Dime out there doing her cooking and all that stuff. But she got Jamal out here doing the deliveries, right? So he going to different places and all this stuff or whatever. It comes to the end of the night, right? His last delivery, he gets out the car, he goes to this apartment building. Who comes down? It is whatchamacallit? It's Reg, right? He come downstairs and it's cool. He getting them food, and the camera pans to a car. Alicia and Shad is in the car, and Shad was like, "Oh my God, that nigga's still alive. He really is still alive." And she was like, "That's him." Yeah. And next thing you know, Alicia, without hesitation, pulls out her gun and just starts shooting. And I said, "Oh my goodness." And I knew right then and there, the way that Jamal got out the car, that whole scene was set up, and the way he walked over there and ain't nobody out there. And then once I saw that it was Reg that opened up that door, I said, yeah, Jamal about to get hurt. Jamal is either about to die or he about to get hurt so bad. Okay, I don't know which one it is, but something's about to happen to him. And then the way that they did not show the shooting happen, but you heard it. Well, you ain't see the exchange of gunfire going back and forth like that, like in the midst of it. All you saw was Alicia shooting. We didn't see where the bullets was hitting, okay? Until you saw Reg coming to the middle of the street, and he holding his arm right here like this a little bit. And he did pop off a couple of licks after Alicia told Shad to move out or to roll out, right? So they roll out. And then once they leave out of his sight, this is how much of a nigga he is. This motherfucker. Jamal is laying on the floor, bleeding out his goddamn stomach or whatever. I just know the blood is coming from his midsection and he ain't moving. He looked like the goddamn chalk outline sign. I said, what the freak? Why is he laying there like that? Why is he laying there like that? I said, Jamal, get up. Get up. Blink or something. Cough. Do that. Girl, he ain't moving nothing. Do you know what this nigga did? That motherfucker walked over him and still got his food up off the floor and went upstairs. I screamed. I said, nigga. Oh my God, Reg gotta die. Reg gotta die. Mind you, Jamal was just on the phone with Dom and said, you got me out here, I'm all sweaty and shit. Well, I'm sweaty too. It's like, you better be up by the time I get home and all that stuff. I'm gonna be up waiting for you and everything. I said, oh my God, why'd you do that? She about to be a widow. Now get her the fuck up off the show too. Okay, I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad for Lene. And now Bakari gotta live with this. Because he the one that told Alicia that it was Reg that did all this stuff just so Alicia could go over there and take him out. I know I said I wanted them because I said, bitch, what is the point? What is the point? But baby, I ain't mean like this. I ain't mean like this. No, not over Reg. And I said, damn, Detective Toussaint, you got it all fucking wrong, bitch. Reg ain't killed nobody in his time. It wasn't him. Okay, you loud and wrong, bitch. God damn, now then you call somebody else an innocent bystander who trying to change his fucking life. He's born again. He done got married. He had got married before he had sexual activities. He's trying to live his life right. He's legally having a legal job. And y'all just shot him up. And all for that for the power to come back on later. Girl. That was the episode, y'all. Y'all tell me how y'all felt about it. Woo, and y'all enjoy y'all weekend. And I will see y'all later. Peace.